How's it going, everybody? This is our late spring garden tour. Things are pretty wild, but that's the way we like them. We have a peach tree, which grew from a peach pit, and it's doing quite well. We'll see how it does in terms of producing fruit. This is a Mexican marigold. Really intense smell, take it or leave it. Crush up the leaves between your fingers for that smell. Bunch of blackberries in a thicket around this fountain. Fountain attracts all kinds of little birds, and they come in and they flutter down and play in the water. This is chocolate mint, doing quite well, fighting with the blackberries. Here we have some asparagus, little baby asparagus. Looks like a beautiful little fern. And it takes about 3 years to establish to get spears you can eat. It's a Bartlett pear. Over here we have a cottonwood stump that's been cut down. Alright, this is one of my favorite plants. This is a sagebrush. Sweet, herbal smell, and just a very natural look to it. We got some thornless blackberries piled on top of some ceanothus. Over here, this is a Matilaha poppy, or fried egg poppy. It's pretty clear why it's called that. It's very delicate and beautiful. This is a quince tree. Got a bunch of quinces in there, or quinces. And they're kind of like pears. They're fuzzy and very floral smelling. But you don't just eat them, you use them for preserves or jams or compotes. You gotta cook them first. This is a plum tree. Lots of plums on it. Every year we get a ton of plums from this tree. Great tree. This is a blueberry. I love blueberries. I mean, they're so good when they're right off the plant. It's like a different thing than what you're getting at the supermarket. Completely different, much more complex flavor. Gooseberry, a bunch of thorns all over it. These blueberries were suffering, kind of dying back, and I pruned them back and watered them a bunch, and it rained, and now they're doing good. Although only one of them right now is producing fruit, so we'll see what happens with those as well. Okay, so nasturtiums. You could put them in salad. They make like an exotic color addition to your salad. But I never do. I just look at them. Okay, these are Peruvian lilies. They're great cut flowers. They've fallen all over the place here, but we love them just the same. It's a raspberry. Here's a rock rose. We're going to get in close and get a look at one of these. Yeah, I mean, beautiful, just like the Matilaha. Up here we have a feijoa, or pineapple guava. Tastes kind of like Starburst candy, and it's very like plain looking fruit. The squirrels have been eating the petals because they found out they're sweet, and apparently they don't produce fruit if the petals are eaten, so that sucks. These are table grapes, green little sweet table grapes grown in an arbor. Meyer lemon, a couple of blueberries, and then a bunch of starts. We got a couple types of basil and gourds. Those blueberries, I had to transplant them. They're doing a little bit better. They need acidic soil, blueberries, and they were planted in pretty basic soil. There's the basil. I don't know if we're going to get any blueberries, but from these particular ones. But we'll see. More basil. This is a potato that grew out of a potato peel in the compost, and I transplanted to this container as an experiment. It's just growing in compost. Okay, this little lime tree has been replanted like 1 billion times, and it's still alive. So we'll see how it does. It's It's normal for me to have a bunch of things growing in little containers. There's another grape next to the blueberries. Same kind of grape that's on the arbor, I believe. Bunch of succulents, nasturtiums. This particular succulent has such pretty flowers. They're kind of between a hot pink and a purple. I don't know what color that is. Maybe somebody can enlighten me. Yeah. They're really nice. And during a certain time of the day, they're kind of really open. Right now, they're a little bit closed. But they're still really pretty. Very prolific bloomer. Got a Meyer lemon over here that I mentioned before. Another one I'm nursing back to health. Had like kind of curly, messed up leaves. Snapdragon, some love in a mist. Very magical little area of the garden. Bunch of columbines up here. They look like little dragons, just like orange and yellow dragons just flying in all different directions. You gotta love columbines, they're beautiful. Just a beautiful plant. Just fantastic, just spectacular, just perfect. And love in the mist, the love in a mist. It's just like a little fairy flower garden over here. You could imagine a bunch of fairies and elves and stuff around here. It's a camellia. Interestingly, tea that we drink is a camellia. It's leaves from a camellia plant. Not this one, but a camellia. Some poppies. Here's a Thai basil. Great for stir fries. Put it in your water. Flavor your water. Pole bean. I don't know what kind of pole bean that is. There's another little bean there. This is a gourd. Another gourd. A couple gourds. And then over here, we have a ground cherry, which is a Solanaceae. It's got like a pineapple taste or a caramel taste, depends. It can also kind of have an off flavor, so you're kind of like seeing what you get. These are tomatoes. There's a sun gold and a couple other varieties. And then down here is a cucumber, Japanese cucumber. We packed everything together this year. It's kind of an experiment. Usually we space things out and have big tomato plants, but we're trying to use the space. That's a watermelon and a dill, and there are a lot of plants that can kind of trail out of the box so that, you know, they've got room to grow. That's a Amish melon. An Amish melon is, I guess, kind of like a cantaloupe, or maybe it's a variety of cantaloupe. That is a potato, and there is a pepper, which is a jalapeno. I don't know, things might crowd each other out and compete too much. Competition is tough. Some honey flowers, some just beautiful penstemons that have this blue, purple, amethyst thing going on. Crystal. Spectacular, spectacular, spectacular. This is cilantro that's flowered. I let it bolt, and it attracts all kinds of pollinators. It's got these little flower landing pads, these little landing flower pads that bring in native bees, little native bees, and hoverflies. And it's going to hopefully produce coriander spice. That's the seeds, is coriander. This is a Sweet 100 tomato, and a few other varieties of tomato. Again, really crowded. Probably not a good idea to crowd things like this, but just experimenting. And I don't know. Oh yeah, so these are the tomato flowers. And I don't know what all these tomatoes are because, to be honest, I just threw a bunch of seeds here, transplanted them to little containers when they grew, and then replanted them in there. Big box of strawberries. Never had this many strawberries before. And who doesn't love strawberries? Well, I'll tell you who loves strawberries. Birds. Squirrels. So Probably need some way to protect them. It'd be cool if we could put like a big cage over them. It's tough with watering strawberries too, because if you give them too much water, they get big and watery and don't have much flavor. And you're supposed to give them less water so they're sweeter, but then they wilt if you don't give them enough water. Anyway, I don't want to go into that. A lemon balm. Wonderful smell if you crush the leaves. Lemony, obviously. It reseeds itself all over the place. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.